Hey everybody, Ron Phillips back with Heather Marchant. We got another update for you guys.
Want to keep you
Been
in
a,
the loop.
been a few days. Been a few
Yep.
days. We actually said we would have information on the 5th, which we did. We just kept busy. So sorry. We're here. We're here on the
on the 8th,
I
and it's
completely
good.
have lost track of time. I don't know about everybody else, but my days are running together. So it's like literally no change. It's Groundhog Day every day.
So we wanted to get an update for you on rents first, you guys. We have reached out to most of our property managers, have gotten back to us pretty quickly, letting us know that they are pretty on track with rent collections. So it's under 5% is kind of the average that I've seen from all of them reporting in that are saying there's a problem. And they're working out a payment with all of them. They're not just not going to pay and move to eviction. They're going to be able to make it up. And whether that's through unemployment or just them catching up for, getting overtime or whatever that they're doing. So, and what have you found with your properties, Ron? How's that been going?
Yeah, so we're in kind of in the same boat. We have one that's a little bit worse than that, but again, those are, like, our property managers are helping them apply for whatever they need so that they can get themselves to where they can pay.
Yeah.
And I actually think that they will pay. Now, again, remains to be seen what happens in next month.
Yep.
Right. I mean, this is because if we don't get back to work, this thing, it could turn kind of ugly. But
Yeah.
Right now, the people are grateful that we're helping. They're grateful that there's a program out there that they can, get some money on unemployment, because most of these people have been impacted by employment. That's the reason they're not paying. I would assume that there are places that have been massively impacted. We just don't own properties there, and the property managers that we're calling they're not laying people off in those areas.
Yeah.
So my guess is that if you're in New York City, there's probably a big problem.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Probably
but
hurts
my
a lot
guess
more.
is that there, and maybe Seattle, maybe California, in certain places where there are hot spots, maybe because I think those places have been locked down longer, and they've been locked down harder than a lot of other areas too.
It's true. It's true.
I don't know.
The other thing we wanted to update you guys on is the 401k cash out that we mentioned last week. Ron, you found out some more information on that they've changed it a little bit, right?
You cannot take money out of a 401k and put it back into an IRA. You have to put it back into the 401k. You do have 3 years to do it. So, I guess if you could find some kind of a shorter term investment, you wanted to do that, you could certainly do it. You could take it out, invest, and then put it back in. No penalty. And if you put it back in within 3 years, you get no tax in either. And you can pull it out with no penalty and pay the tax if you wanted to do that.
Yeah. That is my game plan. I'm doing it with my husband's 401k right now. So take out the 401k up to $100,000 or 100% of the value, right? Whichever one is better, I guess. But up to $100,000. My husband hasn't been at his job for very long, so it's under 100,000. So we're going to pull it out and buy a property with it and just not put it back. And do some depreciation, and then make up the difference.
And then you can pay the taxes over the next 2 years too. So there's a stay of execution.
Oh,
you pay the taxes, and then you can pay them over the next 2 years. So, if you want to do that, you certainly can.
Okay. And then the last thing we wanted to update you guys on is the Triple P loan program, the payroll protection program, I believe it's called.
They should have called it the Change the Rules Every Day program. Literally, the thing changes all the time. I think in our initial one, we said that contractors were covered. They kind of still are, but they're not covered under, like, for me, I have, like, Heather is a contractor, right? So I pay Heather. I can't count anything I pay to Heather because Heather can go get her own. So the government wised up and realized that I'm going to count Heather, and probably Heather's going to count Heather. And that's a twofer, right? And you can't do that. So they just shut it off, and they shut it off for the employer, which I guess is okay. I would have preferred it the other way around, but so now the employers have to help their contractors figure out how to go do this themselves. So if you're an employer and you have contracts, you can't do it. It's only on W-2 employees.
Yep. And that some banks aren't doing the program, right? You said?
Are doing what?
Aren't doing the program. There are some banks you said are not participating.
Yeah, like that's the other thing is I called a bank where I bank, a smaller bank, and they were all for helping me out. And then I called them back, and they're like, "Yeah, we're not going to do it because." So the way they're getting paid right now is they're getting 5% to put the loan together, and then the loan is at 1% interest. It was at 0.5%, now it's at 1%. Okay, on a payback. But if the loan gets forgiven, no big deal. But if the loan doesn't get forgiven, then the bank that made the loan is stuck with the loan paying 1%, which they don't want on their books. It affects their ability to lend. In addition to that, lending all this money out at one time affects the bank's liquidity, which affects their ability to lend, which is how they make money. And there's not enough spread on these deals. So some banks are not crazy about making these loans. And then you guys probably already saw in the news that Wells Fargo ran out of money. They're $10 billion in. They ran out of money. They're done. They shut it off. So yeah, it's I missed the first round at the bank where I applied. I texted the guy and he's like, "Yeah, you're in on the second round. I gotta get these first ones through." And it is, I mean, today's the 8th. That's what's Tuesday. I submitted my application the day that it came.
Really?
That I could have on the 3rd. It's now the 8th. And I haven't heard anything. So I'll be following up again today to figure out when the second tranche goes in. So if you guys haven't applied for this and you want it, you're nuts. You should have already applied. Get in there and make it happen. Yeah, you gotta, if you want it, you gotta get in and actually get it. And I guess I should say if you need it, right? So if you're sitting on piles and piles of dough and your sales are increasing, it's going to be probably pretty difficult to sign that part where it says that you need it for your business to continue to operate. I mean, that's up to you. You can sign it if you want to, but it might be a little difficult to show that you needed it if your income is going up.
Yeah.
You're sitting on a pile of cash. But anyway. Okay. So I mean, that's the update for today. We'll see if anything changes. We'll jump back on and keep you guys tuned up. Thanks.
Awesome. Thanks.
See ya. Stay safe.